Hi, thank you for joining us. Welcome back to The Experience. I'm Steve Fox, your host, joined with Linda Patterson, who's here talking about aromatherapy. And we are broadcasting live. Our number is 343-3130. You can feel free to call in with your question or comment. You can email us at fatv.org. Or no, it's experience@fatv.org. Or you can visit us on the web at www.fatv.org/experience. And before the break, we were talking about the growing popularity of homeopathic and naturalistic or more, New Age type, I guess, of ways of practicing medicine. And whether it be aromatherapy or herbal therapy or massage therapy, all these new therapies are coming into play. And I don't think it's one that insurances are ever interested in possibly touching. I'm wondering do you think that might ever change as we get closer into the next few years?
I think that it will, only because people are beginning to demand it. And I'm seeing that there are some insurances that are covering different things, which is nice, other than allopathic medicine. Mm-hmm. Homeopathy and things like that. And I think that people are going to gravitate more to those insurance companies, and as the other insurance companies begin to see more people being drawn to that, then I think that they will start
cool.
Picking up.
Very cool. You gave me a list here of, now these are obviously not all of the essential oils, right? Because you said there are literally hundreds. But there's several here. See here. Angelica, balancing, uplifting, it's cleansing, strengthens constitution, and tonic to the liver and digestive aid. There are actually, now with something like that would be something that you would take internally to help with
I do Angelica internally, but I do it through the plant.
Okay, so they would like the herb.
Right, I dig Angelica root.
Now, do you grow a lot of your own plants and extract your own oils, or do you have to go to a certain...
This process is very lengthy. This is distilled, so this is difficult. And most of these oils come from other parts of the world. Very, very few oils come from here in America.
Okay.
Peppermint is probably one of our biggest.
Here in America?
Yeah.
What is that good for?
Peppermint is excellent for the respiratory system.
Oh, it's like the Vicks Formula 44 that...
it's also very stimulating.
Clears the headaches, and I wish I had that just a couple of days ago. Had I known that, I'd be sitting there eating candy canes all the time.
I don't know if that would help your headache.
Now, frankincense is myrrh, and it is frankincense and myrrh. Two of the three gifts that were given to the little kid in swaddling clothes numerous years ago, were they used for the? I'm wondering, do you know the history of those two in particular? Were they used for that purpose back then?
Incense, I believe. And still today, the Catholic Church burns frankincense for sorrow during funerals.
Is that this thing that's in those little chains? And I'm going to need to learn what those words are. And myrrh, and it's the Latin, I guess, is myrrha. Uplifting, relieves apathy, antiseptic, strong, astringent, excellent for mouth and gum disorders, and a powerful skin preservative. Like a cream, like
Correct.
A hand cream?
Correct.
All right, well, we'll talk about the ones that we have here in front of us. There's some that are almost completely empty, and there are some that are quite full. What are the ones that are used probably the most? And it probably varies on the person who comes in and the ailment that you're trying to correct. But do you ever mix and match them? Are they used specifically on their own, or can you blend oils together to?
That's a great question. Essential oils are synergenic, meaning that the total is greater than the sum of all their parts. So it's always more beneficial to blend oils together for their common purpose. So I almost never use an oil singularly. I almost always blend them together.
Are there certain oils you should not blend together?
There are certain blends that don't smell very pleasant. There's the science of aromatherapy, which is knowing what each essential oil is chemically used for, and then there's the art, which is the ability to blend them together without having some atrocious smell. And I feel that as far as my class goes, that's one of the greatest services I can give to my students, is teaching them how to blend, because the chemistry you can learn from a book. The blending you really can't.
Right, so that's a lot of practice. That's like getting out the old chemistry set and putting the little beacon out there and filling them up. Jasmine.
Oh, boy.
Excellent for depression, calming, warming, excellent for male and female reproductive disorders, and can act as a strong aphrodisiac. I guess because it acts as a strong aphrodisiac, the male and female reproductive issues can go right out the window. Is that similar to Viagra for the guys? Is what's been coming out now, or New Man, as the Chinese now have out there, or the Japanese, or same kind of concept?
Well, Viagra actually works internally, very specifically on blood flow, whereas jasmine would work through the olfactory system. Jasmine is an amazing oil. It's probably one of the most expensive oils.
Is it really?
Oh, yeah. It's funny that you would pick that. But it's an incredible
Well, I saw the
oil.
strong aphrodisiac, and I figured, well, we got to talk about that one. It is cable TV, after all.
But when you smell it, you definitely can't help but be drawn to it.
Really? What? Now, it's from, I guess, the plant itself is called jasmine?
The flower.
The flower.
It's where it comes from.
Where exactly is it from? Or
You can grow jasmine in your home.
oh, so it can be grown here in the States?
Only as a house plant. It's very fragile.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to say it's one of those illegal ones that you can't. It's fragile. So is it a small plant?
It's a vine.
Oh, it's a vine. Okay, so kind of like an ivy.
Yeah, kind of.
Because I don't know anything about plants, so I'm grappling here. But that's interesting. Are there certain classes of let's say you have the jasmine? We'll use that as an example, where it is listed that it can be used as an aphrodisiac. Are there classes of oils that are the same that can be used, like say jasmine, and all these can be used for that particular purpose?
Oh, absolutely. There's many oils. Patchouli is one of them as well. Clove. They're both considered aphrodisiacs. A lot of the lower, it's very hard to describe an oil. It's like trying to describe a wine. A lot of the heavier oils are considered more aphrodisiac. They have more plant phytopheromones.
That's the word I was looking for earlier. I didn't want to bring it up because I didn't necessarily think if it was an accurate correlation between the pheromones that you would see advertised in the back of some magazines to attract that date that you could never get, and aromatherapy itself. I know some of them have been put into like a cologne, and they're almost as a novelty. And I'm wondering if that all kind of derived from the practice of aromatherapy. At some point, I wonder if people saw them doing this and they decided to market it a certain way.
I'm not sure if those products actually have true pheromones in them. And I think that if they did, they would probably try to use animal pheromones, because we are different than the plant kingdom. And things do work differently in our systems when it comes from a plant as opposed from when it comes from an animal. Although I'd hate to think of how they're getting the pheromones out of the animals in order to use them.
Yeah,
like buck lure or something.
I wouldn't want to think about that either, actually. Now, all the oils that we're talking about do come from plants, right? There's no other source that they come from. Is it? I don't know which question to ask next. You had stated earlier that you seldom do internal uses of them, but they can be used internally.
People do.
Is it recommended that they not be taken internally? Do we know enough about them to know that they're safe enough to be taken internally, or do certain oils do you need to be wary of?
Absolutely. Absolutely. A little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. And I'm not concerned about next month or next year. I'm concerned for your liver in 10 years. These are very, very powerful and can be very harsh on the liver. And why? If I can drink a cup of rosemary tea, why do I need to take the essential oil internally? There are better ways.
How much of that would be in the tea? I mean, is it diluted
from the plant?
because of the water? It dilutes the.
Correct.
So it's not as horrible as. Okay, I can see.